Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video. Today they're making for Yida as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen. This is a track from an act named Yellow and Huang Zhuan, who I've listened to quite a bit of this last few weeks, and the fan requests as well. It's just in general, it's good to be hearing more of their stuff. I think this is Captive in Love. And we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Let's do it. What do we have? Beautiful piano arrangement. Fantastic progression as well on the keys.
该不该等个人，至少还能快乐，慢慢平衡。
And that quiet, subtle vibrato is just.
女性的人，你为何在意永恒？就算能永恒。 也不代表高中成要，如何谱成两个人的缘分？又走回那些偏执的道路，还是我自己习惯的迷糊，笑容别假装。 错样，对错都一样。
And moving into the woodwinds. Nice. Light clapping as well, that's nice. Fantastic sail choice there by the flautist.
脚底下的沙尘怎么能成白鸽？透过窗的景色，日丽也风和。开了又关的门。 该不该等个人？至少还能快乐，慢慢平衡。
And the strings cool and responding like that with the woodwinds are fantastic.
你为何在意永恒？就算能永恒，也不代表高中成要。 成两个人的缘分，若不是心软而作茧自缚，若不是相信爱自断活路，这座坟墓都是不肯认输的。
So much space for the backing arrangements to come in as well.
编织的套路，还是我自己习惯的迷糊，笑容倔强。
The double bass is welcoming and clutch.
对错都一样。
Gorgeous.
笑容倔强，这么重要。对错都一样。
Fantastic. I had an awesome time with that. I'm just going to quickly look through the lyrics that Yida has kindly provided, and then we're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion. And we've got the lyrics here kindly provided again by Yida. Thank you for doing that. How can the dust under my feet become a dove? The view through the window, the sun is beautiful and the wind is gentle. Door that opens and closes, should we wait for someone? At least I can be happy. Superstitious man, why do you care about eternity? Even if it's eternal, that doesn't mean we're faithful. Okay, this tomb is full of prisoners who won't defeat. I won't admit defeat. I think I kind of get what this track is about. I'm going to talk about it more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track. From an act named Yellow, I think this track was titled Captive in Love or Prisoner of Love, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what I think this track is about outside of that, it's about someone who I think is in this like wonderful situation where they feel so like they feel good about things like the surroundings around them, and we're wondering, should we wait for someone? You know, we might either be more comfortable alone and taking the risk to go outside and find someone might be more dangerous. I'm kind of wondering whether we feel vulnerable being in love with someone, or whether we are safe with someone and maybe we should be looking for someone else. I mean, either way, I think that, you know, we're back in the same fabricated routine. I'm still in the habit of being confused. Don't fake your smile. I don't necessarily think that the love is potentially genuine from both sides. And so there's just a bit of a sort of a confusing situation that the people involved are in. I think Huang Zhuang is discussing their relationships, the how valid their love is, how true their feelings are, and the risks associated with taking gambles, or whether to leave or not, or to whether even get in love in the first place. That's what it's about. I think that the vocals from Huang Zhuang in this song were phenomenal. We have this wonderful mid to upper range there that is articulated with head voice and some falsetto. The vibrato is absolute masterclass. He is an incredible singer. He is wonderfully emotive with the way he expresses himself. And it's very easy to understand what they're trying to accommodate or accomplish or express, even with a language barrier. You can kind of get the feeling with the title, yeah, you know, this is someone who's kind of in a blissful state, but they kind of wish things could be different, even if it feels so good. There's more that they could want, and it might even be bad to die in that place. And so I listen to this and I think, how could we possibly improve the vocal performance? I don't think you can. Yellow's just tremendous. They're wonderfully articulate, and they have phenomenal stage presence, and they play piano accompaniment for themselves really well. At the start, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was playing the keys, right? Yeah, of course he was playing the grand piano. I was sort of second guessing myself there. But beyond that, you have the piano at the start, and then you have things sort of move further along, and you just have a singer who is just able to play this instrument alongside himself, but also cater to the rest of the band and the act and the song that it continues with. Now, this song, it's 5 minutes 21, or around 5 minutes, and that is not a short song. That's outside of the 2 to 4 minute sweet spot that I typically have for these reviews. But in the saying that, I think that it was really well phrased. I think that starting with, again, Huang Zhuang with the keys, right? Just himself on stage speaking this truth there. And allowing the flautist, the woodwinds, to come through, as well as some of the string sections moving into the bass and the drums with the brushes on the snares and stuff later on. I think we added more as we went along, and it was very romantic sounding with the legato phrasings of those strings there, with this phenomenal sort of call and response between Huang Zhuang and Yellow and the string players. It was great to have the flute player or have their own sort of like time to shine there. They were really smart with the melodies they chose there. There were some interesting melodic passages played there, sticking with the scales as well as some of the modes, and even adding a few sort of chromatics in there, some unexpected chord choices there. there were decisions made within just Huang Zhuang in the solo piano at the start. They were kind of cool too. Like I think bum bum bum, we kind of modulated up half a step or something like that for a bit of suspense there, which was kind of dope. We have a singer here who can also blend in with the rest of the arrangement in the sense that it's like the music surrounds you in the headphones. Again, with the bass line walking a bit, there's a bit of walking with the root notes there, not just with the root notes, but with the sort of the scales and modes associated with those triads. The drum parts, a gentle, dreamy sort of drifting along with the chord note groove there, kind of moving things along the way, which is kind of very sort of like, it is very gentle, like he's talking about in the track with like the wind, the gentle wind and all that. And so you have this really kind of beautiful, almost sickly sweet feel to the song. Not sickly sweet, that's disingenuous. It's gorgeous. I think that it does measure out to be quite a beautiful song. And there is almost a sort of like a Parisian kind of French feel to a lot of the music, that kind of like a romance to it, which makes sense considering what we're discussing here. I believe that it does kind of sound like someone who is a prisoner of love, kind of walking through the town, wondering whether the next sort of like flurry is going to be healthy or not, or helpful, or whether it's worth just staying where they are and never making a move. It's an interesting concept to discuss here. I think that the music, the complexity of the extensions within the chord progression signals, that there is a lot of thought that we're trying to put into this. Simultaneously, I think that the consistency of the overall feel of the track never becoming too heavy or intense there. We never go full bore. We're constantly at low to mid-range there. It never becomes a loud song. So I think this is simply still someone kind of going through all the different possibilities in their head. And you get that from the expression of the instruments, the chemistry between them. The piece is incredibly well layered throughout there. There's never a moment where things feel dull or uninteresting. There's no filler, and there's not a note out of place. The studio recording, mixing, mastering is commercial grade. Yellow's, Huang Zhuang's vocals are absolutely sparkling in the mix there. They have a great sheen and shimmer to them, a shine. They are wonderfully present. Just a really well recorded vocal take. Again, and he can clearly sing. But it's also just the way the strings, the flute, the bass, and the drums, and the keys as well, because we continue to have like an additional sorry about that with the mic. We have an additional sort of keyboardist there as well, a piano player who moves alongside the rest of the pieces. We continue sort of building off of what Huang Zhuang initiated at start and continuing to push that forward with everything else as we go along there. Everything was nicely niched in the frequency spectrum. Music was nice and wide in the stereo field. And there was dynamic range to it. Things were not the same loudness all the time. Sometimes things went totally down to zero, came up. Really interesting and well worth following. Nice and loud with that pumping to the bus compression, and limiting was handled and effectively. This is my review of this track from an act named Yellow, or Huang Zhuang, titled Prisoner of Love, if I'm not mistaken, or Captive in Love. And hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show us some love via their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support them. Your local musicians and artists, some love. Show them some love in this crazy time. It's either all the help they can get with all the stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next SC Patrons video. Spiderhands out.